trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. This is the Russell Index today. I wanted to show you the ABCD. This is the exact same pattern that we were looking at in the Dow on the weekly. This happens to be, here it is on the 13-minute chart. What's important about this is that this is where we were Friday, right near the lows where we were on Thursday. Due to the Japanese election, the market gapped up quite a bit, and you'll see it made its first 382 correction here. About 15 points, and then went all the way up. And all we've done so far today is we've remained bullish because, as you can see here, the last little pullback that we had just about hit it exactly. Now, if we start getting below 2250, that'll be the sign that this is finally starting to move lower, and we'll be able to see it. Now, I'm going to take just a moment here. I don't understand all the stuff that goes on in these markets, folks, but I understand how markets react. Now, this is the Japanese yen on a 4-minute chart. I just want to show you because we just made it right here. This is why it's so important. You see this number right here, 153, 153. If we look at this on the long-term daily, you'll see that you're setting right at the 61% retracement as we speak right now. Now, folks, what happened in Japan was some type of an election, pretty much like the one we got coming up here, and it would have been a bigger surprise as what happened in 2016. They took the dude that was there for the last 9 years and gave him a vacation, and everybody was saying, we're on our way to 162. Well, folks, with that much bullish action, that's not acting very bullish, in my opinion. We just instituted a short trade here at 153.25. We went short this the dollar against the Japanese yen, and we don't have to risk very much. Now, we've got another one happening right now, boys and girls. It's my favorite of the day, so hang on. Grab your chart pencil and take a look at this one, boys. Here's where we are. This is the wheat. You can see we're coming down here. We've only got about another hour or so to go in the day, but I want you to see this on the 4-hour chart because let's try it. It's the daily that we're looking at. I remember that. There it is right here, and hold on just a second. I've got to get the original contract up. Hold on one second, boys and girls. And it'll only take me a minute, but it's worth looking at because this is the Mother, God, and Country stuff. If you like the first, I've got to take this off, and nope, I'm going to go here to this one here, 4-hour. There, let's get this up here, and get the that's the one I want right here. So hold on just a second. Well, this is going to be a disaster in making not the trade, but me trying to get, here's where we are right now. Okay, here's where we are right now. We are knocking on heaven's door as we speak, folks. This has got about everything you could ask for in a trade that you could possibly ask for. Now, it might not work, but boy, this is the upside down version of the there's the 3 drive. You see it right there? And there we are right now at 58 3/4. The low has been 59 3/4. So I'm going to be buying there at 59. We'll be there in just a heartbeat, it looks like. And then I have to turn this other one off. Otherwise, it's not going to stop beeping forever. Maybe even longer. Just a second, folks. I've got to turn the limit minder on. Otherwise, it's going to drive me nuts. And that'll be it right now. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it off right here. Okay, anyway, that's what we're looking at. That's got just about everything you could ask for. If I were doing a live trading thing today, I would be jumping all over this one. This is exactly what I look for. It's got just about everything you could ask. Right at the 618, you got multiple ABCDs. You got a 3 drive to a bottom pattern. Everything says You buy it right here at 59. It's trading at 60.25. You only risk about a nickel. So you're going to become a farmer for $250. Where do you get a deal like that? So that was my trade of the day. Whether it works or not, I don't know. I missed it. You see, last night it actually rallied 11 cents off that bottom, but we didn't get filled. So we're just trying to get filled here. We haven't got filled yet because we got the order setting at 59. So we're going to see if it gets there. The fact that it's taken out the low and didn't go very much, that may or may not mean something or not. That I don't know, but that's what we're watching here with this. This has got a lot of things going for it that I think look pretty good. But remember, folks, the ones I like the best, they work the least often. So you've got to remember that. That's absolutely for sure. Okay, now what else we want to take a look at here is the 1 second here. I want to get up here and just talk to you here about this gold market. Oh, let's have a big one hand clapping for our good friend Mike Moore, who warned us about the crude oil yesterday on his program. Remember, this is where we were up against these 382s we made 3 times in a row, and he said it looked very, very ominous because we came down all that way, and all we could do. Well, I've got to get rid of some of these because there were so many of them in here, but I'll just get rid of a few so we can see it. The fact that we could only come back to a 382 retracement, and we did it right here. There's where we were on Thursday, and there's where we were on Friday. And he was saying it looked lower to me, and lower means 5%, and you can see the big drawdown that we had here. Another one that was screaming that it looked extremely weak was the heating oil, and he also pointed that out too. Let's get that up here and take a look at that on the long-term weekly, because he was talking about it. I made a notation of it, and you can see here, there's where the 382 was 3 weeks ago, and it's been going down for 3.5 weeks with virtually no rally at all. That means it's extremely bearish, and as you can see, we're coming down quite sharply. Let's look at this on the daily, just for kicks and giggles. It looks like it might be sitting right at the 78% level as we speak just now. So, and that low came in at 21.12, and we're at 21.13 right now. This would be the last support that we can see for heating oil. So this is where they're going to be playing the game right there at that spot. And 21.1234, and the low was 21.12. Wow. Wow, right on the money, folks. Just spot on. So pay attention to that one, because it could have some rallying from here, just from the bounce. But there's the 78% level. It didn't go crashing through there at all. It stopped right there where it should have. So let's move it back just for a little bit on the 8-minute and see where we are. Yeah, there it is right there. There was your low, and this is what we've done so far. And so it hasn't done much yet, but this is a very important low. We rallied 3 cents off of it. Now we're coming back to test again. So this is the real important one. We start getting below here, oh dear, just like in crude oil, we get below that $66 a barrel level. Boy, there's not much down there except $59 a barrel. People can say, how can that be with the war and all this other stuff? Folks, oil is probably the most political commodity that's traded in the world, in my opinion, because they play so many games with the U.S. dollar with that. We're going to take a break here. 877-927-6648.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, this is soybean oil. We were in this trade on Friday during our live session. We sold it up in the 44 area. It was working in our favor on the close. We said to keep your stop working above this level. There was the 382 of this. It gapped down, as you can see. What's so good about trading some of these grains, folks, is to stop and think now. The margin on this is only like $2,300, and yet this move right here is more than $1,000. That's half of the margin. The margin on the S&P 500 is 15,000. How often do we ever see half of a margin, which is $7,500 of the S&P? Not nearly as volatile as some of these others, which is good to trade because, you've got a really good place to put your stops. And look at the action today, folks. You have the big A, B, C, D to the downside with the gap. Let's just measure that for kicks and giggles and see if this stuff actually works. There's your A, B, C, D leg right there. Now you leave a big gap here, so that means it's going to go to most probably the 1.618 of that range. So we put this in as 161, and we'll see how close we came to the exact low. Very well, there it is right here. There's your low right here. But look what happened from Friday. There's your high that you made late Friday. Where did it open today and go right up to? Exactly 382, and if you can see this little tiny ABCD pattern, that lines it up pretty good. So soybean oil is a really good one to trade. In fact, all the grains are. That you just got to try to find the ones that fit you pretty good. So we should be coming down to a pretty good buy in here because there's the ABCD to the downside, and we're looking at this potential pattern right here over the last couple of days. But the one I like the best is the wheat. And so haven't been filled yet, but boy, we're real close. We're within 1/4 cent. Oh, whoa. We haven't got there. I've got the order in at 9.5, and it's the low has been 1/4. So we'll see if that's going to be, no, I have the order at 9.5. That's been the low, and we haven't got filled yet, but I'm probably going to buy it here at the market just for, oh dear, I've got to buy it, folks. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw caution to the wind and buy it here at 560. And I'm going to put a stop here at 5. Well, this has got a holder. It's no good. So we're only going to risk $250 on that, which would be 5 cents. So the stop on this would be triple nickel, 555. $5.55 a bushel. If we get to there, I'll say go ahead. I'll go to another sandbox and play. So I bought it at 560 1/4, And we're going to put a stop here at 555. See, I'm trying to look at this. There's the number, right? 558 3/4. The low has been 559. This is a huge market, folks. So I think it's got a chance. So I like it. I think it's got everything you could ask for in a trade. So we're going to find out. That's it. Norm Winsky will be our guest here today. Later in this week, we're supposed to have. Oh my gosh! No, we already stand. Oh, Shan Smolian possibly, and then also I'm trying to get Peter Elides and Jim Bartleone, but these volatile markets are keeping everybody, running around pretty good. Okay, let's move out and talk about the gold market. Here's a gold here intraday. This is what we've been watching here in the gold, but the one that's most interesting in the gold is this pattern right here, folks. There's where we are right here now. There is the 60-minute chart going back here just over the last few days. I'm talking last week, okay? We're looking at this ABCD to come up here. Now, we haven't gotten here yet. You see, we pulled back today, okay? Yesterday, there's where we are. Okay, there's Sunday, there's today. We haven't got there yet, but we're going to get there. That's 2763. It's not backing off at all, and that tells us that I still think we have a chance to get up there. There's your A, B, C, D. You got an A, B, C, D setting right there, and there's your number, 2763. You put a stop at 2773. You risk $10. You could risk less if you wanted to, but I think 10 you'd have to. The old high back here, which is the 78%, the new highs on gold, 2770. Remember, we're still looking for potential on this long-term monthly up into this area. We thought it was going to come in at 2705, and now we're trying to short it at 2763, only because it's a smaller pattern. Somewhere up in here, there's going to be a top in gold, but it's not here yet. So that's why I'm watching it so closely to see if I can find a spot where I don't have to risk very much. And that spot comes in right here at 2763, and my stop will be probably 2770 would be my guess. I only risk about $700 in that. And we're not very far away. We're $9 away, so we could make that today, without any trouble. Since we're talking about that, let's switch over to the silver market. 1 second here, because it's been jumping around quite a bit, acting a little bit better than the gold today. Hold on 1 second. At least it was earlier. Let's see. Here's the silver, and we'll get this up here. We'll do this. Just start out with the hourly and see where we've been. Yep, here's where we've been here. On the hourly, you can see all we've done here. We made the 382 right there on the 25th. There's nothing bearish about this, folks. When you go up this much and only come right to the 382, you can see we had higher bottoms in here, saying you wanted to move higher, and you can see we are moving up a little bit. So we're going to look at this now on the hourly chart, and we're going to see this almost the same type of pattern. You're seeing another A, B, C, D forming right here. Now, it's also lagging behind gold. It's because there was your high up there. That was a long-term weekly number. So your A, B, C, D on this one would take you up here to 34.39. So another 40 cents higher. You should be hitting an area that should be pretty strong resistance, okay? And then I would put your stop right above here if you're going to trade silver. I prefer gold on this one because it's more liquid and you get better fills than you do in the silver market. There's nothing bearish about the silver market today, folks. If you look at this on a smaller time frame, we'll get down to 13-minute, just so you can see. There's your low today, last night, Sunday, okay? What do? You have an A, B, C, D, a very good one. First thing you want to look for when you got a big move like that, watch for the 382. It comes in here at 867. The low is 822, and we're starting to still go higher. So there's nothing bearish about this silver for an intraday trade, that's for sure, at least from my perspective, okay? Now, let's get on to the old Japanese yen here, folks. I think this is it. I'm not even sure. Hold on a second. Oh, I already did the Japanese yen. Let's not get together on that. All right, let's get over here out of the way here. Losing my track here for 1 second. I want to get rid of some of these things that I'm not talking about anymore. We're going to get rid of that, and we're going to get rid of the soybean. And we got Norm coming up here in just a minute. Get rid of soybean oil. We've got the gold. We got wheat that we're watching now. And, wheat's really running away now, folks. It's up to 561. Well, at least I bought it. Okay, let's see what happens with it. Anyway, go from there. All right, let's get on to the next one, which is going to be the British pound. Folks, if you want to see a dead cat bounce, this is one of them. Okay, this is the thing that we sold a long, long time ago. We made the low here. We can't even rally 100 points, folks. We actually rallied one handle is all we've done. We sold it way back here. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to see if we can get a little rally up here. And I would, I'd really be looking. I want to be really short this for a long, long time. Well, stop saying that, Larry. Hey, we're going to take a break here. Norm will be our guest here in just a moment. Okay.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the U.S. futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archive live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, we're back, and I believe we have the wizard himself from the scales of the shores of Fort Naples, or Naples, Florida. Norm, how are you, buddy?
Hello, Larry. Thanks for having me on your show.
You back to normal yet after the hurricanes?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go ahead. Tell us what you're looking at, my friend.
Okay, so I have my notes on the screen, hopefully. And
coming in great.
Yes, okay, great. I was last on your show just ahead of the new moon, solar eclipse. A solar eclipse, for those who don't know, is a special kind of new moon. I did forecast those. Then I asked to come back about 2 weeks later with some other forecasting cycle points. However, Hurricane Milton decided to pass by and knocked out my electric and my internet, so I had to cancel that. But I did have these already in the notes I sent to you, and they're in my letter. The folks there in the Tiger's Den will have to take my word that I forecasted these points. If you want, you can call me. I can prove that. So okay. So we're going to review these points. We had the night of we had a triple whammy the weekend of the 11th, while Milton was doing its around Hurricane Milton there. We had Pluto turn direct. That's, you might be familiar with retrograde. The opposite of retrograde is direct when from the Earth's point of view, from our point of view here, it looks like the planet had been going backwards, but now it's going forward. We know that from above the solar system looking down, the planets don't do that. It's all about relative motion to the Earth, just like when you're driving on the highway, somebody passes you, look out your window, and it might appear that you're going backwards when you're actually doing 60 miles an hour. Okay? So anyway, Einstein would tell you that shift in the relationship between two bodies is important, and that changes the energy field. And I will prove that might have done something to these markets. So anyway, Pluto was in Capricorn the weekend of the 11th, and that we're going to look at cocoa, coffee, hogs, and T-bonds. And then we had the moon's north node. And by the way, if you have any questions about any of these terms, give me a call. I'll give you a free class and explain them. All right, and get much better than that. And if you mention Larry, I'll give you 20% off for free, okay? So there we go. So moon's north node, that was a joke, Larry, right? Moon's north node, 90 to the U.S. Jupiter. This has to do with where the planets were on July the 4th, 1776, and the moon's north node, which is an important cyclical point in space, was 90 degrees to that point. Anytime we have the U.S. chart, stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. Then we have a Mercury cycle for over that weekend, too. That's a triple whammy here over the weekend of the 11th. Mercury, anytime we have Mercury, corn, soybeans, wheat. And let me remind you that stocks potentially respond to all these events, so I don't put stocks on every line here. Otherwise, that's what I'd have to do. All right, now then we had the 16th. Then we had the after the close of the 16th, we had a full moon. The night of the 16th, we had a full moon at perigee. And anytime we have a full moon or new moon, we'll look at financials, grains, precious metals, and oil. And then the night of the 18th, we had the moon's north node to Neptune. And then anytime with Neptune, you have Neptune, you got oil. And because the moon's north node was involved, we're going to look at silver. Larry was just talking about silver a little while ago. Mercury, here's another Mercury cycle, Mercury aphelion. That says Mercury goes around the sun in its 88-day cycle. That's when Mercury's at its farthest point from the sun. And because it's Mercury, we're looking at grains, corn, soybeans, wheat. And because the sun is involved, its relationship with Mercury, we're going to look at gold because, you know, gold is golden and so is the sun. And then we had Jupiter to the U.S. Mars, and we will look at stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And the best trades of all are the ones that are at some extreme. The bigger the extreme, the better, because it's Newton's law. For every action, there's opposite equal reaction. All right, let's start reviewing the charts quickly. Here we go. We got corn going up, up, up into the solar eclipse. And look at that. It's the high of the month. And then corn goes down, down, down. My next point was the Mercury cycle, and that was a little early, so that's a miss. That's a red arrow. Green is good. Red is bad. If you see yellow, that's coming up on the next chart. That's sideways. That's a pass. That's just like the traffic rate, red, yellow, green. Then we got green here for the, that's the full moon at perigee, and that's the low of the month. I don't know that it gets any better than that, Larry. And then we go up, 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 and then we have a cycle here for Mercury aphelion. That was the day before that high, but too much drawdown, I guess, as I marked it. Actually, it wasn't too bad. I should have marked that a green arrow, actually. I cheated myself. So anyway, that might have been, that might not have been too bad. You got about 20, I guess you got about 10-cent drawdown there. Oh, I know why, because when I did these charts over the weekend, you were just at even. If you got in there, we didn't know if it was you're making any money or not, so I had to mark it as a red arrow. Maybe if the corn's down now, then that would return the red to a green, All right, so here's soybeans going sideways, so that's a pass on the solar eclipse. We had the Mercury cycle there, and that was a little early, so that's a miss. But then we had two winners here with the full moon at perigee and this Mercury cycle here, and that was a little more obvious that you could have made a little bit of money there on that one, on the beans. Here's the wheat. We were emphasizing wheat because the solar eclipse was in the sign of Libra, and Libra is wheat, and so it's like double points for that, because the wheat would have got any eclipse would be a window for possible changes in wheat, and because of Libra, then we get a double emphasis. So anyway, that was near the high of the month there, and then we went down. That's kind of sideways choppy right there. If you're gotten in on the opening, you didn't know high or low. Same thing over here, kind of choppy sideways. Over here, with that decline, you would have bought on the weakness, and you could have made a little bit of money. Here's sugar. Sugar is a Libra market, and so down into the solar eclipse, you had a little pop up there, had a chance to make some money. Here's cocoa. We had a little short. It doesn't look like much because the numbers on cocoa are crazy. Cocoa are so huge now. What you and I would probably consider a good chunk of money doesn't look like much on the...
Yeah, twice times the old high. That's how much it is. Okay, let's take a break here, folks. We're going to pay a few bills for TFNN, and we'll have Norm Winsky back. Stay tuned. 877-927-6648.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The stock market is a delicate interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
We're back, folks, speaking with Norm Winsky of Astro Trends. Please continue, Norm.
Thank you, Larry. So when we jumped off to commercials there, I was talking about cocoa, and our one point for cocoa was Pluto is cocoa, and over the weekend of the 11th, you had Pluto turn direct, and you can see it doesn't look like I was saying it doesn't look like much on the chart here because the scaling on this cocoa is huge, and that's like a 400-point move there. I think that's $4,000 or 40 cents. It's about $4,000 on cocoa. So if you sold there and you got out there, you had the chance to make about $4,000. It looks like a small move, but it's a lot of money. There's huge money on this cocoa chart here. It's unbelievable. Cocoa used to be a nice, you might remember.
Sure was for years.
Cocoa used to be a nice, docile, domesticated market. Hardly moved maybe 1,000 points, in a month or two. And now it exploded last year and went from like 2,000 to 12,000. Crazy, right? So here's coffee. Coffee, the Pluto is in Capricorn, and that's coffee, so we're going to be looking at coffee. And you can say into the weekend of the 11th, into the opening on Monday the 14th, had a nice pullback low there, right on the opening, and then boom, zoom, boom, rocket time, and we're up 52, about 14 cents. What's that, Larry? Times 375. That's quite a bit of money there. About
$5,500. That's a lot of money.
Like 14 times 375 is $5,250. In one day. A little more in one day, day and a half. That's pretty good. Here's the hogs. Hogs are also a Pluto, which rules Scorpio, and you can see we were selling right off of that high there, and then immediately you're making money, and that's Coke. Hog 77.5 down to about 75. 2.5. That's $1,000 there. 2.5 handles on the hogs. And here's your crude oil. That's a miss there on the solar eclipse. Just kept going higher. Of course, you use stop. Have a stop loss on all these trades. And so if we have a miss, you have a limited loss on that. And then we pulled down into our Neptune point here. And then you had a nice pop up for about, from about 68 up to 72, about 4 handles. That's $4,000, potentially, Here's the silver. Silver just went sideways on the eclipse. And then over here on the full moon also going sideways. And then up here, I think we were the day before that double top there, but the drawdown was really big and unacceptable, so I had to mark that as a miss. Gold was a little bit friendlier. It went sideways on the eclipse. That's a miss there for the full moon. But we had a nice, I remember this was last week. We had Mercury aphelion over the night of the 22nd, and gold overnight topped out and dropped $50 by 11 o'clock that morning. So I had some clients who made some money on that, and that was really good. $50 move in gold in just like 6 hours or so, 6-7 hours. Here's the S&P. We did really well on the S&P. You made a nice low there on the solar eclipse, and we rallied up here to our point here on that big triple whammy cluster there over the 11th weekend. And if you sold there and hung on, the next day you were doing really well because you were up. Let's see, 58.40 down to almost 58, about 50, looks like about 50 handles, And then we rallied up here to the full moon at perigee was the high. We're making new all-time highs here, and then we pulled back, and then we went up and made another new all-time high right there on the full moon at perigee, and that was a really nice top there. And that was 58.80 down to, again, about almost 58.10. So that's like 70 handles there. And then we went sideways, so we took a pass there. And then over here, that was a miss on our last point there with the Mercury aphelion. The S&P didn't like the S&P didn't look cure for that one. All right, here we have a miss here on the solar eclipse for the T-bonds. Then we went down, 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 and then we had our U.S. point. Oh, the Pluto point. This is Pluto for the bonds, right? And I think we had 2 points there, and we had a U.S. point also, which is also for the bonds. And then we rallied up here into the full moon perigee, and that was a nice top there. And then down here for our, I think that was a U.S. point there. I'll have to look that up later. If you call me, I'll look it up and let you know. I mean, I think that's a U.S. point because the dollar is also on that point there. Yep. Okay, so we had the dollar. We had a miss there for the solar eclipse on the dollar. Then we're going sideways here for a pass. You had a small little top here, a little pullback decline there. And then we went up for the U.S. point here, had a little bigger decline there for some more small money, All right, so the big score on the green arrows and the red arrows is we had 24 winners, 9 misses out of 33 for 72.73% winners. I know the folks in the Tiger Den might be thinking, oh, that's really good, Norm, but no way I could ever learn this stuff. Well, think again, because I can teach you this, and nothing here is above a 5th grade level. I can prove it, and I keep everything really simple. I was I was not any A student there in school. I struggled to make B's and C's, and so that's how I teach this stuff. It's all very simple. Everything's a grade school level, and you just have to put a little bit of time, and you can learn this in a few weeks. And if you subscribe to my letter, I gave you a free 6-hour class where I teach you some astrology, some Gann, fractals, advanced Fibonacci with the Lucas numbers, all kinds of advanced methodologies, and it all comes with a 1-year subscription to my letter. All right, here's what's coming up in the future. Do we have time, Larry? You got a commercial?
Yes, we do. Go right ahead, please.
Okay, great. So coming up here on the morning of the 30th, that'll be in 2 days from now, Venus is aphelion, so we want to look at their Venus markets and the solar markets. Venus markets are cattle, copper, cotton, sugar, and wheat. And then the ones connected to the sun are corn and gold. So those are the markets you want to look at around the morning of the 30th. Look for these markets that are, if they're at some extreme, they've been going up, 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 or down, down, down. Those are the best candidates for a good trade. Then the night of the 31st, Halloween night, we have a new moon in the sign of Scorpio. Anytime we have a new moon, full moon, your financials, grains, precious metal, soybeans, oil, and then...
Stay with us, Norm. We'll get you back in for a second, okay? Hold on.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Back, folks, with Norm Winsky, and please tell us where we can reach you to get all this great information.
Got one more thought. I didn't get to quite finish the new moon coming up. And so the markets you want to be watching the night of the 31st new moon into the opening of November 1. Our financials, grains, precious metals, soybeans, oil, cocoa, hogs, and tea bonds. As you can see there on my bio, been doing this about 50 years. I'm a former Chicago floor trader, did 12 years on the CBOE and the Chicago Board of Trade. And here's my contact information. Call me for a free class, free consultation, and we'll see how we can help you. The most important factor, by the way, in the markets is timing. Time is everything. Time, again, said time is more important than price. Here's my phone number, 239-594-3939, 239-594-3939. You can email me at nwinsky@yahoo.com. That's NWINSKI@yahoo.com. Or you can Skype me at the same address, nwinsky@yahoo.com. Thank you very much for having me on, Larry. Looking forward to helping some of your folks. And look at everybody. Have a great weekend.
You bet. Thanks, Norm. Okay, folks, give me a second here. I've got another possible trade set up just for kicks and giggles. We might do some of these just for some fun here. I have to get the thing changed just a second, and then we come up here. It's going to be a little bit harder than I thought because I've only got a few seconds, which is not really fair. Let's get this up here. But here is the pattern that we're looking at. This is the piggies. We're looking at the daily as we get up here. You can see we got multiple stuff up here going back along, selling hogs here at 80.80 with your stop above 81.60. So you've got double ABCD patterns, just like and you got another pattern in here too. You can see it's got just a lot of things. Another one right in there. Number of moves up. So stop is at 81.32. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. And we'll see you on the flip side tomorrow, folks. Thank you very much.